I love that when starting this stream, the app was asking me to smile for the thumbnail. And I'm like, what thumbnail? There is no thumbnail. This is going to be a delirious stream until I can knock myself out to sleep. So I haven't been live in a while, but for anyone who may be lurking, I guess feel free to join. You can say whatever you want, as usual. There's really no topic to go over, but I just wanted to ramble away about how stuff has been, how I've been feeling, how I feel right now, yada yada. So, for starters, one of the annoying things about today was that this is the second time my phone does me dirty. And, well, the first time it was my fault. It was that I set my alarm for PM instead of AM. And what happens is that this new phone I have, if you scroll beyond 12, I guess, it automatically shifts from AM to PM and vice versa. And I usually don't catch that unless I see that the thing shifted, but sometimes I miss it because I'm just focusing on establishing what the minute and the hour that I want to wake up at is. And I got so used to my old phone not doing that that I just always assume that it is permanently set to AM because that is the only time I ever set an alarm. And then today I'm so disturbed because I cannot figure this out. I cannot remember at all, but I feel like my alarm did not go off when it needed to. And I ended up oversleeping and being tardy to work. But at the same time, I'm thinking maybe the alarm did go off, but instead of snoozing, I turned it off, but I ended up lingering in bed, just pondering about my life and how miserable I am that I still have to work as I usually do, and filled with so much anxiety because my life is not important and it's okay to endanger me during times like this. So I guess I just succumbed to my emotional exhaustion, and then I guess I ended up oversleeping. But what bothers me the most is that I have absolutely no recollection of what the hell happened this morning. Did the alarm go off, but I turned it off and fell asleep again accidentally, or did it genuinely not go off? So that is the one mystery that I have to solve, I guess. And then on top of that, it also doesn't help that when I told mom my story, she has the same phone that I have. She said that she has noticed that her phone somehow volumes down automatically. And I'm thinking that shouldn't be a thing. That's not really possible, but I'm not saying I don't believe her because I know my phone has done stupid stuff in the past, but I want to understand if that is happening. How is that happening? So anyway, another thing that I guess I should go over is elections. It's strange how this time last year everybody had so much anxiety and you couldn't stop looking at the live results. I personally didn't. I don't keep up with that stuff because no matter who's in charge, unless they start representing me and doing things directly for me, my life is not going to change depending on who's there. It doesn't matter what party the candidate belongs to or anything like that. My life is going to still be the same. I'm still going to have to wake up, in the morning when I don't want to and drag myself somewhere I no longer want to be at because everybody in there is a zombie. And on top of that, they deem it okay to take away things from the employee, things that make them happy. So, anyways, I just realized that as long as I live in a capitalist society, that type of thing is not going to be looked at with decency. It's going to be okay to demand for you to drag yourself to work under circumstances that are not favorable. And what can I say? You don't even get to know the people who are supposedly giving you jobs and whatnot. It's not like I can shake my CEO's hand every single day, right? He doesn't know I exist. And you know, the relations that are meaningful to me are the ones that I can actually cultivate personally. But in this kind of society where one little company can have like so much power, it's just crazy because you just never exit it. You go home and you're somehow still bringing work matters with you. That's not okay. But anyway, I am just happy that with the election over, everyone is like quiet, strangely peaceful, I guess. But when it comes to the work setting, it's still the same. Everybody's overwhelmed. The holidays are keep creeping in. Some people are already demanding seasonal stuff like turkeys and whatnot, and we keep running out. So I think that the holidays should be canceled across the board. They probably lost their magic when I stopped being a kid, and that's why I feel this way because I see them for what they really are, which is people want to create such an unrealistic experience for themselves and their guests that they don't even really focus on indulging on what the holiday is supposed to mean. But then again, historically, if you actually look up what actually happened that created these holidays from the start, it's actually pretty messed up. So I wouldn't be able, now that I have that knowledge, I would never be able to partake in such a thing again. But anyway, and because everybody who is around me is overwhelmed and I do super well at coping with stress, the same way that you see me chilled and laid back in my videos, that is exactly how and who I am. So I am becoming, my personality is becoming incompatible with those who surround me because those individuals do not do so well with their stress. And I guess it really clashes with the way I see things. And it's really sad because, from a third person perspective, I can look at it as, well, this person is overwhelmed. We should do something. We need to help them because this is not right. But for me, one of the things that saves me is that I happen to be a veteran at what I do. And on top of that, the skill required for my job is pretty basic. And I do that deliberately because I haven't been sold in this society that I need to work hard and pursue an education and kill myself doing all those things when it's almost like life is meaningless now. And everything just feels like a void and empty. And I said, I don't want to be a part of that. Forget that. I'm not a fucking zombie. And I find that people don't really know what they want deep down. And I'm sort of like that. I know for a fact that one of the things that I want is to not have to fucking work. But of course, to make that possible, I have to work, which is weird how that works. But in this kind of setting, that doesn't motivate me or inspire me, and other people are drained and, what can I say, apathetic. It's really upsetting because my integrity seems to be clashing with other people. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I just know that every time I have to go in for a shift, I fucking dread it, and every time I come back, I'm like, I cannot believe how terrible my day was. Why is it like that? And I intend to make videos breaking that down a little further, but yeah, this is just for the sake of immediately letting go of the stuff that's weighing down on me right now. And yeah, man, I just hate the fact that you have to live in constant anxiety. The anxiety of, oh my God, if I lose my job, this is it. I'm going to be tight for a while. I'm going to lose my apartment. I'm going to lose the comfort, pretty much. Whatever comfort it is that you know, your shelter, your food, uh, you know, stress. Why are we okay with stress? It has become so part of our culture now, and bringing it up, it's still somewhat stigmatized, and that shocks me. But anyways, hopefully it's one of those things that it will get better. Do I have a stuffy nose? You know what? Every time I lay down, it always happens to me. I get congested at nighttime and before bed, but I'm definitely not sick. I don't have anything going on. And I feel the raspiness. My nose is just 100% blocked, but this always happens, so I'm not tripping over it. As soon as I wake up tomorrow, it'll linger for a few seconds, and then when I splash water on my face, I'll be back to normal. But anyways, we live in some times where there's a lot of division going on, division amongst families, division amongst workers, and all that crazy shit. And I'm thinking, wow, how did we have some discipline in the past? It almost feels like you were born at the worst possible time because damn, a lot of opportunities kept shutting uh, the door on my face, like right there. As soon as I was getting ready to pursue some stuff, it's like it got defunded, it got discontinued, it got canceled, it got closed, it no longer is offered. And I'm like, damn, this is stuff that's actually useful for my development, especially if you're going to be demanding so much from me as a member of society. Why not invest, right? But that's the problem. I feel like resources, not necessarily exclusively financial ones, but like resourcefulness in general, such as knowledge and tools and all that type of thing, is not being circulated adequately. And I feel like it's just being hoarded by a select few. And I'm thinking, okay, just know that that is not a sustainable practice. And at some point, that shit's gonna, start falling. And just like with my opinion on politics, I think you need to really let stuff burn before it gets better. That's the way it gets better when a lot of people start being affected. Some people are going to have to suffer, unfortunately. But if you look back through history, people had to die and bleed and stuff for things to change. So, but anyway, I don't want to sound too grim about stuff like that. But yeah, when it comes to politics and the elections, if there's any clown out there who talks about my actual interests, you'll get my real, actual, sincere vote. But other than that, I'm not going to participate for the two popular choices because those two popular choices have never represented me. And I shouldn't just vote for the quote unquote lesser of the two evils because they're still both evil, you know? They're both hurting people. So we need to make better choices and just be careful about that overall. Well, anyways, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Should you get around to listening to this later, this has really helped me to sort of relax and let go of things that felt like were really weighing down on my mind. So I will attempt to sleep because I have a relatively busy day ahead of me. So I don't want to be having a late start to my day because every time I do, I regret it. All right. I'll see you soon.